The spotlight hits the stage at the Forum in Los Angeles, and for a split second, everything slows down. It's the middle of a packed arena show. The bass line is already pulsing through the floorboards. The white glove is in place. The fedora sits low over his eyes. Michael Jackson glides into position at center stage, the crowd screaming before he even moves. Then he sees him. Off to stage right, half-shadowed near the VIP riser, stands Prince, arms folded, watching. No smile, no wave, just stillness. Michael catches the sightline mid-beat. The band holds the groove. A camera crane swings overhead, red light blinking live to the jumbotron. Freeze there. The turning point object is the microphone in Michael's hand, live and amplified, seconds away from the next lyric. One glance toward Prince could be interpreted as insecurity. Ignoring him could look dismissive. A public acknowledgement could feed a rivalry narrative the press has chased for years. The stakes are enormous. In that split second at the Forum, it isn't just a performance, it's mythology. Two of the biggest black artists in modern music occupying the same room, the same oxygen, and the crowd doesn't even realize what's about to shift. Days earlier, in a rehearsal studio in Los Angeles, Michael had run the same number under fluorescent lights. Tape marks on the floor signaled camera cues. The choreographer adjusted a spin. The lighting director fine-tuned a spotlight. During a break, a stage manager reportedly mentioned that Prince might attend the Forum show. Michael paused, one hand resting on the microphone stand. "Is that confirmed?" he asked. "Word is he's in town," the manager replied. No visible reaction, just a nod. Then, "Let's run it again." Because in this industry, presence is power. If Prince shows up at the Forum, the cameras will find him. The tabloids will frame it as a silent duel. Every spin, every high note, every beat will be measured against an invisible scorecard. Weeks before the Forum show, entertainment columns had revived the familiar comparison: Thriller versus Purple Rain, spectacle versus mystique. The narrative never fully dies, it just waits for new oxygen. And now, in the middle of the Forum stage, Michael sees Prince watching. The band hits the downbeat, the crowd roars. Michael turns his head back to center stage. He doesn't look away from Prince quickly. He holds the gaze for half a breath longer than expected. Then he does something nobody expected, but not yet. Backstage before the show, in a narrow corridor behind the curtain, Michael adjusted his white glove in a mirror framed by exposed light bulbs. A production assistant handed him the set list, printed in bold black ink. He had circled one song near the end of the night. Not the biggest hit, not the obvious closer, something else. According to accounts from crew members, the choice was deliberate, a shift in tone, a subtle statement. Meanwhile, Prince's presence at the Forum was reportedly low-key. No grand entrance, just a seat in the VIP riser and a clear line of sight to center stage, watching. Back in the spotlight, the microphone is inches from Michael's mouth. The choreography proceeds flawlessly. Spins are sharp. The glove catches the light exactly on cue. But the energy in the room has changed. Because when Michael Jackson saw Prince watching, it wasn't just about performance, it was about positioning. The band transitions into the next number. Michael steps to the edge of the stage, scanning the front rows. The camera crane swings again, briefly capturing Prince's silhouette in the background before cutting away. Social oxygen. Backstage, a production assistant whispers into a headset. Prince is still there, as if anyone could miss it. Michael finishes the current song to thunderous applause. He walks to the microphone stand at center stage. The crowd expects the next obvious hit. Instead, he signals the band to hold. Silence spreads across the Forum. He looks toward stage right again, toward the VIP riser where Prince stands, arms still folded. And the set list on the floor at his feet waits for the change. The silence inside the Forum stretches longer than any choreographed pause. At center stage, under a single white spotlight, Michael Jackson stands with the microphone in his right hand. The printed set list lies near the edge of the stage, one title circled in black ink. Off to stage right, in the VIP riser, Prince remains still, arms folded, watching. The band waits for the cue. Michael doesn't look down at the set list. He looks directly toward the riser again, toward Prince, then lifts his left hand slightly, signaling the musical director. "Not that one," he says quietly into the mic, barely audible to the crowd but clear to the band through their in-ear monitors. The drummer nods. The keyboardist adjusts settings. The circled song is skipped. That's the first unexpected move. The crowd murmurs, confused but electric. They were ready for the predictable anthem, the guaranteed roar. Instead, a different chord progression begins, softer at first, almost restrained. Michael steps away from the center mark taped on the floor and walks toward the far edge of the stage, closer to where Prince is standing in the VIP section. The camera crane hesitates, unsure whether to follow the choreography or the deviation. This is no longer a rehearsed moment. Weeks earlier in rehearsal, that circled song had been locked into the finale slot. The lighting cues were built around it, the pyrotechnics timed to the downbeat. Changing it mid-show disrupts not just rhythm, but narrative. But when Michael saw Prince watching, the narrative shifted. The new song builds slowly, no explosive intro, no immediate spectacle, just rhythm and voice. Michael removes the fedora and sets it gently on the stage floor, another break from choreography. The white glove catches the spotlight as he grips the microphone tighter. In the VIP riser, Prince tilts his head slightly, still watching, still unreadable. Backstage, a stage manager whispers into a headset, "He changed it. He changed the closer." The choice isn't louder, it's riskier. The second unexpected move comes in the bridge. Instead of executing the familiar spin and freeze, an arena favorite, Michael holds still, completely still, for a full measure, eyes forward. The forum quiets in waves. The stillness feels intentional, directed. He's not outdancing anyone, not escalating the spectacle. He's controlling tempo. Across the riser, Prince lowers his arms, not clapping, not cheering, just observing with sharper focus. The thesis reveals itself in real time. This isn't about outperforming a rival, it's about redefining the terms of comparison. The band crescendos into the final chorus. Instead of pushing for volume, Michael pulls back, singing softer. The audience leans in, thousands of people drawn toward a voice that refuses to shout. The unexpected move isn't aggression, it's restraint. As the final note fades, there's a half-second where the forum doesn't know how to react. Then the applause detonates, louder, less predictable, almost disoriented. Michael doesn't bow immediately. He looks once more toward the VIP riser. Prince, now with arms uncrossed, gives a single nod, small, controlled, but visible. The moment lasts less than a second before the house lights dim and the band exits. Backstage, adrenaline spikes. Crew members exchange glances. "That wasn't the plan," someone says near the monitor feed. Michael walks past them calmly, white gloves still on, sweat catching the hallway lights. "Plans change," he replies. Meanwhile, in the VIP corridor outside the forum, Prince is reportedly escorted quietly toward an exit. No press conference, no backstage summit captured on camera, just departure. But the story has already shifted. Entertainment reporters in attendance begin scribbling notes, changed the set list mid-show, held the silence, looked directly at Prince. By the time the lights come up fully in the forum, the narrative machine has new material. 2 icons, 1 room, no public confrontation, just a move. The detonation isn't explosive, it's strategic. But the full consequence of that decision, of skipping the circled anthem and choosing control over spectacle, won't land until the next morning when the headlines try to decode what really happened on that stage. Morning breaks differently after a night like that. In hotel rooms across Los Angeles, industry executives flip open newspapers before their coffee cools. Columnists struggle to frame what they witnessed at the forum. It wasn't a meltdown. It wasn't a surprise duet. It wasn't even confrontation. It was a choice. By noon, the whispers start circulating through label offices and management suites. Did you see the set list change? He skipped the guaranteed closer. He looked right at Prince. Inside rehearsal archives, assistants double-check the printed run of show. The circled anthem is still marked as the finale. Lighting cues were programmed for it. Pyro budgets were allocated for it. Insurance riders accounted for it. And yet, Michael pivoted. That pivot becomes the story. Because in an industry built on spectacle, predictability is currency. And last night, Michael burned predictability on purpose. By mid-afternoon, radio hosts are framing it as psychological chess. Some argue it was defensive, an attempt to avoid direct comparison. Others insist it was dominance, refusing to compete on expected terms. But those who understand performance at the highest level see something subtler. Restraint is harder than excess. And in that moment, with Prince seated within view, restraint became the flex. Back at Paisley Park, Prince is said to have offered no public comment, no rebuttal, no sly interview soundbite, just silence. And that silence amplifies everything. Because if Prince had dismissed it, the narrative would shrink. If he had mocked it, tabloids would feast. Instead, there's nothing, which forces the industry to sit inside the ambiguity. Weeks pass. Award shows come and go. Both men continue touring, recording, building legacies that rarely intersect publicly. But insiders begin to notice a shift in Michael's live arrangements. More dynamic pauses, more control over tempo, less reliance on predictable crescendos. The Forum show wasn't a one-off, it was evolution. Meanwhile, Prince doubles down on musicianship in live settings, longer instrumental passages, tighter band interplay, fewer theatrical flourishes. Neither references the other, but both adjust. That's the aftermath no headline captures, influence without admission. Two titans circling the same summit, redefining what dominance looks like in real time. Years later, when fans debate who won that invisible exchange, they miss the larger truth. There was no winner, there was calibration. Because at that level, artistry isn't about outshining someone in volume, it's about controlling narrative gravity. Michael understood that night that spectacle could be predicted, silence could not. Prince understood that reaction would dilute mystique, stillness preserved it. And so the rivalry, real or exaggerated, remained unresolved by design. The Forum show becomes legend not because of a duet that didn't happen, but because of a song that didn't get played. Because sometimes power isn't in what you perform, it's in what you refuse to perform. And in that half-second of eye contact across an arena, both men acknowledged something unspoken. Competition at the top isn't loud. It's measured, it's strategic, it's silent. Fade out.